Yo, what's happening, guys? Welcome to a brand new episode of Rave, Diaries and Tower Block Tales with yours truly, Uncle Doug's. As always, just want to thank all of you guys that have been watching the videos and liking and commenting and subscribing to the channel. On this particular channel especially, like the comments and the little hub and community that we're already building, like in the comments already, we had, when I did the Labyrinth one, the person that made the Labyrinth membership cards, if you've got a Labyrinth membership card, this person made your card, popped up in the comments. Kirk Field, a friend of mine, got a good book out actually, Rave New World, little plug there, Kirk, just in case you haven't read that, go and get it, it's a really good book. But anyway, he was there when the idea of this board game, one of the other episodes I did, Rave, the board game, was hatched. So, and all the other comments, people was at the raves, people went to the record shops. It's building a lovely little community of everyone's stories. So please keep that coming. Of course, I've got the other playlist, Run Come Follow Uncle Doug's, which is my diary, what I get up to week. And I've just started a new one called The Archives, which is, I've got loads of old photos and videos from the last 20 plus years of my life. So I've started to compile them. The first one I put up was IB for 2011. So it's the sun. We had the penthouse suite above Cafe Del Mar, it's the sunset, and we're at Amnesia with Chaser Status Handy. Anyway, Shy Effects at Space, Bora Bora, all closed down now, but they're on a video. That's not today, sorry. I have to just mention it, but sorry. So, today's episode is a bit different to anything I've ever done before on the channel, I suppose. It's a catalogue, but it's a catalogue from a shop that I feel bonded music, fashion, arts, TV, all in one place. It was a very, very special shop. So let me just hold this up there so you can just get a quick idea of what we're actually doing today. So hopefully you can see that, yeah, MASH. And it says on the bottom here, Winter 1989, issue 1 by A Root Fruit Design. Anyway, so MASH in Oxford. I think it was 73 Oxford Street. I'm assuming the address is probably in here somewhere, but anyway. MASH was a clothes shop on Oxford Street. I'm pretty sure it was 73 Oxford Street, but look, this. Let me just hold this up. This here. See this picture here. So in the basement of MASH, can you see that now? There was a Jeep like that with a load of badges in the back and all that. And basically upstairs was like a small shop with some clothes and stuff. And then you went down the stairs and round the bottom, and downstairs was probably my favourite clothes shop of all time, and it was so funky. I mean, in this magazine, we're going to go through this catalogue briefly, and then what I'll do is at the end of this video, I'll photograph every page so you can have a look at it, blow it up, have a proper read through it and see what the fashion and the chat was back in the winter of 1989. So I was 14 in 89, I would have been nearly 15. So I weren't into rave. I got into rave a little bit later down the line, but I liked rave fashion, and me and my mates at the time from school, John Dixon, Stuart Shears, Lee Bacon, Brian Hart, there was a few of us. We would go to either, there was a place in Harold Hill, I think it was called the Ferrucci Warehouse, and we would go down there on the bus after school, go in there with our school uniform on and put the clothes on underneath, then put our uniform back on and walk out and nick gear out of there, yeah? But like, we never nicked stuff out of MASH because it was up the West End. We was a bit shook at that, to be honest with you. But yeah, when we was feeling a bit flush, or when we had a little bit of money in our pockets, we would head up to Oxford Street and go to MASH. Yeah, so this is the winter of '89, as I've said. And I'll read through this catalogue with you, but it's funny because I mean, what I will say is this is like, it's like the Soul to Soul era. Let me just show you this thing here. So, like I say, I'll put them all up at the end anyway, but if you have a look at that, I don't know if you can see that, but hopefully you can. It's that kind of era of clothing, do you remember? So we'll have a flick through the pages. I'll tell you what I've got as well, look, there's this thing here. So this is like one of that page that I've just showed you. This is the what you're looking at guide, so you can go in and buy it, obviously. And then I've also got this here. We'll get to that in a minute. First up, the magazine, or the catalogue, should I say. So, yeah, I've showed you that already, and that's the pull out. So that's what it looked like in the shop, actually, even though it's a carton, that is exactly what it looked like. Opening couple of pages are just a little bit of info about who run the shop, the manager and production of the magazine, and this, that and the other. And then page 2 is a little bit of a welcome, hi, what we got in the store. And it's stuff like, look, ready? Camps, Komodo, Naf Naf, Body Glove, Matthews, etc. Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of era. So the Naf Naf era, for those of you that remember that. And then the next page, Summer Mash. Yeah. Hopefully you can see that. Last I'll put it up here. I keep saying that. I'll put it up at the end so you can look properly. But this is just some of the new summer stock that they've got in, and a little bit about what they're up to with the shop. They've got some new ideas that they're just about to implement. And then on this page, Body Glove, Mambo, Gotcha, Man Ray Clones, Joe Dyes, Ty Dyes, Joe Blogs, blah blah blah. Tonsaton. I used to love a bit of Tonsaton, I ain't gonna lie. So a little bit about more of the clothing now. And then this one here, as I showed you a minute ago, this relates to this thing here that I just showed you. So you can go in and buy all that from the store. Obviously you can't now because the store's gone. It says, look, just a small selection of what's in store. Come downstairs and experience more. You definitely did. Then they've got shoes. The interesting thing about this, I'll show you the shoes first. Let me fold that down. So this is the shoes there. Can you see that? And what's interesting about this is, like, obviously things come and go in fashion, don't they? So the shoe of the time was the Wallaby, yeah? And they've got Wallaby shoes at £23.99. Whoppers, $27.99. Palladiums, $27.99. Desert boots, $19.99. And Roos, which were new at the time, Kangaroos baseball, $39.99. And I know that Wallabies are definitely not 24 quid nowadays. I know they're not. But I know they've come back into fashion. Maybe they're back out of fashion now. I don't know. I can't keep up with it all. But anyway, yeah, that was the shoes. And then on the next page is a little bit about accessories. And I'll tell you what I remember. I mean, it seems mad now, but see that Nike ring on the bottom hand there, like the 2 bars and the 3 bar rings and stuff like that. Like, they got worn. You know what I mean? I think I might have even had one of them. I'm not even going to lie. But yeah, they got worn. I'll tell you what else I bought out of there. No, we'll get to that in a bit because that was more in the rave era of my life. And then on the back, Passion and Mash. So Passion was the record shop. I think it was Razor Records, Passion first, then Razor Records after, I think. I can't remember. But it says here, look, this is the top 10. I mean, hopefully you can see that, but if not, you'll be able to see it at the end of the video. This was the top 10 of the winter of '89. So number 1, Frankie Knuckles, R.I.P. Your Love. Number 2, Quartz Meltdown. Number 3, Stories, Is It. Number 4, Rock to the Beat, Reese. Number 5, Airport 89, Wood Allen. Number 6, Afro Dizzy Act. Number 7, Looney Tunes, Frankie Bones. Number 8, Casanova Remix. Number 9, Mixmaster Grand Piano. Number 10, Techno Times, The Mex. And then it had Future Tracks. So these are ones to look out for. Guy Called Gerald FX, Infinity Guru Josh, Jailbreak Feeling Wild, Adamski Live and Direct, Searching Hard, The Posse Remix. And it says that the chart is compiled by Stevie Wonder and Connie. So big up Stevie and Connie. And big up all the crew who used to get down to MASH and Razor Records back in the day. So anyway, yeah, it was an amazing shop for all different reasons. Like the clothes they used to get in there were sick. The vibe in there was sick. They would have DJs spinning tunes and stuff like that. They would have like TV people would be passing through there. You know, like this was the era of like youth culture was just starting to become a thing, and various TV shows were filmed in MASH. So sometimes you go down there and they would be doing filming in there for stuff, European stuff even. So yeah, it was a real good place to go down and be in. On the back page, sorry, it's this thing here, more MASH info. So that was to sign up for, I'm guessing, the next newsletter or magazine, catalogue, whatever. And it says, come and join us at the party of the decade. Make it a day in your diaries. 29th, 30th December for 10 hours of music mayhem, blah, blah, blah. Brixton Academy. 25 quid tickets from Passion and all usual outlets. I didn't actually know they did a party, so there you go. The MASH warehouse is now operational, so for mail order and all that. And then look, gutted. I would have had this. If I'd have known now, no, what is it? If I knew then what I know now, I'd have had one of these. It says, here's an offer, definitely not to be missed. Because when you purchase goods worth £50 or more, you'll receive an irresistible MASH t-shirt. And then that's only a picture, like a little thing, but see that there with the like, looks like a washing powder t-shirt to be fair. But I would have had one of them, mate, and that would have been in the stash. And anyway, it's 10% off in that little voucher. So that's MASH. So, like I say, in the early days of my going to MASH era of my life, I went down there with my friends from school, and I wasn't going out raving and all that. And then as I evolved and grew up and got into rave, I ended up going down there to buy rave wear, and I had the sickest. I had a leather Timberland cap out of there. I had gold Timberland across it. I wore that for a long time when I was trying to grow my ponytail back out again. I wore that cap for about a year or so of my life in my intense 91 raving days, sweaty cap. But like all the stuff, remember like they used to do like Smack, Crack and Pop and all them kind of mad t-shirts that were kind of like ripping off a well-known brand and turning it into like a drug reference or like a rave. You remember the ones I mean. I'm trying to give you another example, I can't think of it. But you know the ones I mean, they took a well-known brand and turned it into like a rave-related brand, basically ripped them off. They had all of them kind of things in there, as well as the fashion of the time. So the naffs, the tons, and everything else that come along after that era. So yeah, I loved going down there as a youngster before I even understood the culture of what they were really trying to represent in that shop. It was just somewhere that I felt at home before I even realised why I felt at home there. Like them times there I was into Rolling Stones, AC/DC and just, you know, rock music and pop music really. I had no love at all for the 89 sound. My friends did, and I was the anti, you know what I mean? So, but the vibe in the shop, regardless of what I listened to musically, just felt so good. It was such a buzz in there all the time. And then, like I say, by the time it turned to 91 and I started going down there to buy rave wear as a raver, buying records out of the record shop at the back of the, when you went downstairs, it was over to the other far side, little thing that used to go to get served to tunes and that. And yeah, I spent a long time in there wandering around. Everything you could think of, the badges, the stickers, it was all part of the buzz. The staff that worked in there were like, they were fashionable, like hip, sort of late teens, early 20s that had their finger on the pulse. Like they got everything about the shop right. And when it shut down, I was gutted. And I know times change and things move on and all that, but it's almost like what the retro shops of today are trying to achieve. They're trying to achieve what MASH did almost effortlessly through that era. So yeah, last thing I'm going to show you before we duck out is this thing here. So this was something that they sent you with the catalogue, and it's a questionnaire, and it says free MASH t-shirt for the first 500 completed questionnaires received, complete return to date. Now a little bit of me is gutted that I didn't fill this in and get the t-shirt, but more of me is happy that I've still got this, because at least I've got this that I'm assuming that I'm not going to say none of these magazines exist in the world anymore, but I'm telling you now, apart from the people that worked at MASH or had some affiliation and the odd weirdo like me, I bet these are very, like especially the full set, I bet they're very few and far between. So anyway, quick read through this. I'll post a picture of this at the end as well. So it says, how long have you been a customer at MASH? At that point, not very long at all. Why do you shop at MASH? Because I like the clothes and I like the buzz. How often do you visit just to see? 1, 2, 3, 4 times a week or more. Probably back then it would have probably been maybe once a month. How many times on average do you purchase? Always, often or rarely? Back then it probably would have been rarely, even though I would have wanted it to have been always. How much on average do you spend per visit? £50, under about less than £50. In this era, 89, I was a kid. £50 would have been a lot to spend back then. What do you spend the most money on? Clothes, shoes, records or accessories? Back then it would have been clothes. Which is your favourite section at MASH? Back then it would have been probably the t-shirts. I did like a t-shirt, I always loved a good t-shirt. What do you think of the quality value for money of the merchandise? Everything out of there was sick. Have you had to return goods to MASH in the last week, month, 6 months? Nope. How many times? None. I haven't wrote all these down, by the way. This is me as a 49-year-old man answering them as a 14-year-old. How was your complaint dealt with? Fairly swiftly with the minimum fuss. No, I didn't have a complaint. What did you think about the staff at MASH? I thought that was 11 out of 10, mate. I never, ever had a problem, and I only remember fondly how on point and on the vibe they were of the moment. Have you been persuaded to buy something you didn't want? Not that I remember. Do you like the atmosphere in MASH? Yes, it was like a rave in there without being a rave, and I didn't even realise it in 89 because I could have found the music earlier if only I took the lead of MASH on Oxford Street. What do you dislike about MASH? That it didn't stay open forever. Do the window displays or music attract you to come in? Yes, definitely. Last one, what do you think of in-house info? Excellent, good, different, rubbish. Well, mate, I ended up with one of these, so all I can say is excellent, you know what I mean? So, yeah, here we go, 73 Oxford Street, London West 1, London W1R1RB. Telephone number 01, that's before 071, 0171, 0207, for all of that, 01, when there was only one code for London. 014342344. Yeah, so yeah, it's a shame that it's not there anymore, but I think they might have opened another one on King's Road, maybe. I don't know if I'm imagining that, maybe I am. But anyway, if you ever went to MASH, or if you ever worked in MASH, or if you're in this magazine, if you're one of the models, or if you're one of the people that owned MASH, thank you. From a not just one generation, there was a few generations that would have passed through that shop over the time it was open. So from all of us to you, lot, thank you, yeah. And to everyone that got down there and bought stuff, everyone I would have met in there, because I used to talk to everyone in there, as you can imagine, like it was a proper little. On a Saturday, it was much like a record shop on a Saturday. You would go in there, and the thing is with MASH, which was much like a record shop as well, people would go there straight from the party. So people would still be on the party, do you know what I mean? And I probably would have been down there myself on a Saturday or a Sunday from a party, still on the party. So yeah, I've only got really, really, really fond memories of that place. And again, to everyone that frequented and everyone that worked or had a part of, thank you, because things like this are as important for us to all remember as the record shops and the raves, the DJs, the MCs, producers, record labels, all of that. Things like this were a hub for us all outside of that, which, as much as we maybe didn't realise it in my case, some obviously did. But it was a huge cog in the machine of drawing us all into this beautiful thing called rave. So anyway, that was MASH Records, 73 Oxford Street, as we've just established. And thank you for watching. I'll tell you what as well, do you know what, I was going through a bag earlier and I found like a rain dance membership and merchandise. So basically all these things here, they're all merchandise things, Universe, the Rave Universe, you know that. So I've got a load of these as well, so we'll go through them one at a time as well. But for now, like I say, that was MASH, and thank you to everyone that's been watching. One more time, thank you to all the likers, commenters and subscribers. I'll be back with another edition very, very soon, but for now, yeah, Rave Diaries and Tower Block Towels, thank you very much. Peace and love. Be lucky. We're out of here.